There's new information out every single day. This is being talked about left, right, and center. New information every 5 minutes. So let's do what we do best, compile it all together, and let's talk about it. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a daughter, a sister, a cousin, a friend. She was a human being just like you and I, who went to school and sat at the lunch table with her friends. She was a little girl who celebrated her birthdays with her cousins. A little girl who once became obsessed with Hello Kitty and stayed that way her entire childhood, because that is what she was when she passed, a child. And she was once a little baby girl who likely was held in her mother's arms when she took her first breath of life, and heartbreakingly so, she was also a little girl who more than likely was scared, petrified, and panicked when she took her last breath of life. On Friday, September 6th, a tow company drove out to a Hollywood Hills neighborhood to tow a black Tesla that had been abandoned for about 5 days. Not just any Tesla, one registered under the name of an up-and-coming artist near a house that he does not own but reportedly had been renting for $20,000 a month. Neighbors knew the Tesla. They had seen the Tesla parked in the same driveway, but then moving from one spot to another in different areas throughout the neighborhood until it eventually sat in the same spot long enough for someone to call Hollywood Tow. 2 days into the Tesla sitting in that parking lot on September 8th around 12:20 p.m., LAPD would find human remains in the front trunk after reports of a foul smell. The same foul smell neighbors, residents of Hollywood Hills, and their dogs had been smelling for well over a week when they would go out on walks and walk past that black Tesla. But to them, it was easy to excuse it as the smell of trash or maybe some sort of animal. But human remains were found, incomplete, a head and a torso stuffed inside of a bag and placed inside of that car. Described to be heavily decomposed, the person was estimated to be around 5 feet and 2 inches tall and weighing around 70 pounds. And using dental records on September 10th, the body was identified to be that of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose 15th birthday would have been on September 7th, just 1 day before her body was found. Celeste, who was from Lake Elsinore in California, disappeared in April of 2024 when she was 13 years old, and by the state that her body was found in, it suggested that she did not make it to see her 15th birthday. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was born on September 7th of 2010. She has a younger brother and an older half-sister, and she attended Lakeland Village Middle School. She has been described as a sweet and quiet girl who was a hard worker, intelligent, and unusually mature for her age. In 2024, there was a behavior change in Celeste when she began skipping classes and running away from home for days at a time, allegedly to hang out with a guy that she had been seeing by the name of David. It's unclear exactly how many times she ran away previously, although family members did share flyers of her disappearance both in February of 2024 and March of 2024. The last missing persons poster states that she was last seen April 5th of 2024. Let's talk about the car. It has Texas license plates and is registered to 20-year-old David Anthony Burke, otherwise known as David. He was born in Queens, New York, raised in Houston, Texas, and he's a singer who blew up actually here on TikTok not long ago. He first began releasing his music on SoundCloud and YouTube in 2021. What I would consider his biggest song, Romantic Homicide, blew up in 2022 and it landed him a record deal. He most recently released his newest album called Withered earlier this year, and he was on tour promoting that while his Tesla was being towed. Now, of course, the rest of his tour has been canceled. Authorities announced that he was being cooperative with the police, although now I do believe that he is lawyered up, which makes sense. A big question there is, was David aware of what was going on with his car while he was out of state on tour? I'm inclined to believe that he almost certainly would have known. The technology on Tesla vehicles is insane. They have so many tracking and notification features that would alert the owner of its movements. In the Tesla app, there's a built-in GPS that connects to the owner's phone in real time. The app shows the car's exact location, updates whenever the car moves, and it can even send instant notifications if the car is unlocked, shifted into drive, or moved without a phone key present. It can track everything from the start and stop time of each drive to the location to the speed the car was moving in to any movement at all surrounding it. Teslas also have a camera system which can record 4 external angles of the car and even inside of the car. If David had his notifications turned off or for whatever reason he wasn't logged into the app, then he might not have been aware of the movements. Also, we can assume that it wasn't him moving the car. Maybe it was him, given that we don't know the exact dates of when the car moved, but if it wasn't him, who was parking the car in different spots? Was it a friend? Was it a family member? Was it someone that he knew? Was it stolen? And was it moved as a coincidence, or was it moved because somebody knew that there was a body inside of that trunk and they wanted to delay it from being discovered? Whatever you believe, whether you believe that David was tied directly to Celeste or not, it gets to a point where you have to look at all of the information that we have and decide when things go from being a scary coincidence to being solid connections. By the way, I'm just a girl, not a lawyer. Everything that I'm saying is alleged, public information that I found on the internet. There has been no arrest and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Anyway, let's get into the things that have been talked about as far as possible connections linking David and Celeste to one another. The tattoo. Celeste is believed to have a tattoo on her index finger that reads, "Shh." David has the exact same tattoo on the exact same finger. Something interesting about that is that he didn't have that tattoo in early August of 2024, which means that he would have gotten it after Celeste went missing in April of 2024. Her mother has also said that Celeste had a boyfriend by the name of David that she had been dating prior to her disappearance. There is a photo of David in Lake Elsinore in California. Allegedly, the spot that he's standing in is only 0.3 miles away, so about a 6-minute drive away from Celeste's house. There are photos online of David with a girl who looks a lot like Celeste. In a lot of the photos, she's either covering her mouth with her hand or attempting to cover her face in other ways. And on a live stream where David is answering questions with a girl who looks a lot like Celeste, he says that he wants to delete the evidence of the live stream once it's over. Which begs the question, if that girl is Celeste on those pictures and videos, is she covering her face up because she doesn't want people to know that she's involved with David? Maybe she doesn't want her family to know. Maybe David doesn't want people to know. And if that's the case, does he not want to release her identity just to keep her mysterious? Or is it the fact that she was underage and David knew that and he didn't want people to know that he knew that? People have also said that in David's Discord, there are flirty messages going back and forth between him and someone going by the name Celeste that date back all the way to 2022. If it's the same Celeste that we're talking about, that would mean that she would have been 11 years old at the time. Alleged screenshots from Discord have also resurfaced in an exchange of what people believe to be between David and Celeste, of Celeste saying, "My parents are so annoying, they won't let me go to see you perform," and him replying to that saying, "Don't worry, I will fix it." And while we're on the topic of Discord, on September 19th, a Discord moderator jumped in with a post basically confirming that the messages were real and saying that Discord and Twitch staff members had no idea that Celeste was 1, underage, and 2, a missing person. There's also a video from January of 2024 where David tags a username 0907, which just happens to be Celeste's birthday, September 7th. And now his song lyrics. There is a David demo that was leaked in December of 2023 titled Celeste Demo Unfinished. In those lyrics, he sings about his obsession with a girl named Celeste, singing, "Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I heard her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." Then there is Romantic Homicide, that music video from September of 2022, months before Celeste was missing, mind you. Okay, first, the lyrics to that read, "In the back of my mind, you died and I didn't even cry. In the back of my mind, I killed you and I didn't even regret it." Also, though, there is someone on TikTok that posted a video at his concert where he's singing the song, and instead of singing the lyrics, "I killed you," he sings, "I killed her." And in an interview as well, when he's talking about the lyrics, he also says she and her, making it clear that he's talking about a girl. In that music video, David stares at the body of a deceased girl lying in a bed, her white dress covered in red. That music video was released September 7th of 2022 on Celeste's birthday. In another music video, his anime avatar dismembers a girl. Another thing that is being talked about in regards to how old Celeste was is the fact that if they were in a romantic relationship, allegedly, she was waiting until she turned 18 years old to make it public. And in another one of David's songs called Decide, the lyrics read, "I know what the problem is, save your tears, 7 years." That was released in 2022 when Celeste would have been 11 years old. 11 plus 7 equals 18. In the music video for his song One More Dance, released in February of 2025, David appears blindfolded, wearing a red-stained shirt, dragging what seems to be a deceased body across the ground, and then the body is stuffed into the trunk of a car. In the end of that video, they are digging a hole and disposing of the body. Furthermore, it is believed that when Celeste was missing, she was last seen wearing Hello Kitty slippers. David, all of a sudden, has this obsession with Hello Kitty, and allegedly in one video he talks about a Hello Kitty girl that he met in 2021. As far as her family, I'm not 100% sure how true this is, but apparently her brother told NBC LA that her family was aware that she was dating David and that he had seen him pick up Celeste in that same black Tesla, and that when she went missing, she was on her way to hang out with him, but she never returned. Another source I'm sure you've seen that has spoken out is a former teacher at Lakeland Village Middle School who says that he was Celeste's teacher when she disappeared. He said that she ran away once, actually 2 times before. He said that she ran away twice to go to Hollywood to meet up with a guy that she met on social media who was a rapper in LA. He says that she ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. Authorities found her in Hollywood, brought her back home, and then she ran away again. Also, you may have seen people on social media talking about 2 different Celeste. Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the confirmed victim, and a different Celeste, Celeste Herrera. Celeste Herrera is older. She's 23 years old, and her name has been brought up because she has interacted on social media allegedly with David before, and people think that both of the Celestes look alike. However, there's no question of who the victim is. The victim has been confirmed, but something to keep in mind, I guess. Last week, a search warrant was executed to search through the house that David had been renting and living in less than 2 blocks away from where the Tesla was initially found. They were looking for evidence in connection to this case. They were specifically looking for blood evidence. They were even searching drains, looking for any trace of evidence. And what they found has not yet been released. As of now, David has not been charged with any crime. He has canceled his US and European tour dates and is reportedly cooperating with law enforcement authorities. Both Crocs and Hollister have removed promotional content featuring David from their campaigns, and Interscope Records, his record label, has also suspended all promotional activities, including the release of his new album, Withered. Celeste's cause of death and manner of death have been listed as deferred. It has been said that she is believed to have been deceased for, quote, an extended period of time, but there is no official ruling, meaning that it has not yet been determined, as they are probably likely still waiting on additional test results to make that decision. It sounds like the LAPD is also waiting on those test results to release any suspect information. However, it is clear that this is being investigated as a homicide, and it is an ongoing investigation. I think we can all agree that this was no accident and someone did that to that poor girl on purpose. I'm sure you guys have seen there are a lot of rumors going around online, but I think the most important thing here is to wait for verified updates from law enforcement instead of assuming every single thing that we see on the internet, because that doesn't help anyone. For example, the idea that Celeste was pregnant. At this time, the LAPD has not commented at all on the pregnancy speculation or the alleged infant remains. We also don't know where she was for the 17 months that she was missing. I also have questions about the exact date that she was last seen, because most reports have the date listed as April 5th of 2024, but there are a few that have it listed as May 5th of 2024. With that being said, though, I did read one source that said that she did go missing in April of 2024, but that in May, her family got a call from someone telling them to stop looking from Celeste, but that still remains unclear. I also personally am wondering why, if neighbors reported smelling that foul odor coming from the Tesla when it was still parked in the neighborhood, how and why was the body not discovered until 2 days after arriving at the tow company parking lot? Another question I have, sorry, now I'm just kind of thinking out loud, is in regards to the body. It was reported as a head and a torso. However, when describing it, it was also reported that she was wearing a tube top and size small leggings. But where were the leggings if her legs were not found? I'm not sure. So there's a lot that we don't know. And like I said, it feels like new information is coming out every 5 minutes. But what we do know is that a teenager was taken from this world in a horrible way far too soon. And I really, really hope that however this ends and how it progresses, I hope that her family and her loved ones get the justice that they deserve. A memorial service has been planned for Celeste. That is next month. And also a GoFundMe has been started for her, shared on behalf of the family. And they wrote, as many of you know, Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been identified as the body found last week. She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss. They are seeking help to lay her body to rest. Any funds you can donate are greatly appreciated. Yeah. Let me know what you think. I love you guys. I hope you're having the best day. If not, go do something to make it the best day. Make somebody happy, and I will see you in my next video. Massive kiss on the forehead to every single one of you.